so that when you are recorded in this way, only the most highest and most divine source beings, you know you are surrounded and infused with the light of source itself. And as we go on this journey today, and as your awareness expands, you find it easy to just let go of all expectations about what might be in store for your journey today. And you find it easy now to release the idea of anything at all needing to be in any certain way. And you find that is a nice feeling. So you imagine now that you are outside in an open landscape, in a space not quite here, not quite there. In the deepest sense. And you imagine, if you will, the air, the space right in front of you begins to shimmer and shift and sparkle. And you begin to see something appearing before you again, just right there in the air, and opening into another space. It looks a bit like a tunnel. And you watch and you wonder and you feel your body begin to smile as you prepare to go to another time, another place, another name, another face. In a moment, you're going to travel back to discover, explore, examine another time, another place, going back to the most appropriate time and place to examine whatever you need most at this time. The most appropriate time and place where you can discover talents, gifts, abilities from your past that you can bring into your life today. The most appropriate time and place to gain a deeper understanding and knowledge about different situations in your life today. Able to explore relationships, your purpose, discover why you're here this time and why you were there that time. As you allow your healing protective cocoon of light to carry you all the way back, traveling back to another time, another place, another name, another face. So now, as I count from 5 to 1, when I get to 1, you'll be back in the most relevant past life. As you find yourself now floating down that tunnel. So 5, as you drift and float back in time, as if time didn't exist. 4, another time, another place. 3, allow the impressions, the feelings, the memories, the scenes to emerge. 2, all the way back. And 1, be there now. Get a sense now that you've gone back to another time, another place, another name, another face. Get a sense of what you know. Allow these impressions and these memories to come to the surface. And then get a sense whether you're inside or outside. Get a sense of whether it's day or night. So, are you inside or outside?
Outside.
And are you alone or with others?
With others.
And who are these others?
Women, mothers.
Mothers?
Yeah, but no kids.
Oh, okay.
We're between 2 buildings washing clothes.
They're washing clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And where are they doing this?
Like an alleyway between 2 buildings. Well, a bit wider than an alleyway.
Yeah. And do you know these other women?
think so. I don't recognise them, but I think so.
And as you look around this scene, where you're outside with these women who are washing clothes, get a sense of what the landscape looks like where you are, what the buildings look like. And then describe the buildings to me, please.
The buildings are like a light red or sandy colour.
Mm-hmm.
Not brick, more like clay, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
The ground's concrete, and there's washing, drying on lines between the window.
Mm. And can you get a sense of what kind of year this might be?
I don't know. It feels like we're abroad, maybe Spain, maybe the 20s.
Spain?
I think so.
Yeah.
We're all wearing quite similar clothing, like shades of brown and white. Quite poor. I think.
Quite poor. So you think the year might be 1920s?
We've got the old washboards and big tubs.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And what makes you thinks it's Spain?
The colour of the buildings.
Okay, yeah.
But it's cloudy.
And if you were to look at yourself, if you bring your awareness to your feet, get a sense of what you might have on your feet, what clothes you might be wearing here, the texture of the clothes.
Nothing on my feet. Just, I suppose, quite plain cotton, almost like a robe. Floor length.
And no shoes.
No. Maybe linen.
What, robes?
Just light, but covering the whole body.
Yeah, okay. Can you get a sense of what it is you're doing here?
Washing clothes.
So you're washing clothes as well, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're all washing clothes. Oh, okay. And as you get a sense of the body that you're in, the clothes you're wearing, get a sense of maybe the age you are in this life. Just trust the information.
Quite old, maybe 50s.
Mm-hmm.
A bit overweight, feeling tired and puffed out.
Tired and puffed out, yeah?
Yeah.
And get a sense of why you're feeling that. What's going on in this life to make you feel tired and puffed out?
Just a busy mum. Maybe multiple children.
And how many children did you say?
There was like a few, multiple, maybe 3 or more.
3+ children, yeah?
At school. And just the physical effort of washing clothes, like hand washing.
Yeah, for the whole family, yeah?
Mm.
And then what happens next in this scene? Get a sense of what's going on, any significance of this day.
There's suddenly kids all around. I guess my bus has dropped off. School bus has dropped the kids home.
Okay, yeah.
And the kids come running over. It's free.
And are these your kids?
Yeah, 8, 6, and
8, 6, and 7?
no, maybe 8, 6, and 10.
And how do you feel when they come over?
Their excitement rubs off on me.
Okay, yeah.
They've been to school in the mountains.
In the mountains, yeah? You know which mountains these may be? Can you get a sense of what mountain range it might be, or? And then what happens next once your children arrive there?
I start packing up the washing and heading home. Coming out of the alleyway, you can see the top of the mountains one way, and further the way up, and you can see the sea in the other direction.
Okay, sounds beautiful. So in a moment, we're going to go to the next important day in this life. So as this scene just starts to fade and drift, in a moment, I'm going to count from 3 to 1. And you're going to go to the next important scene in this life. And just allow any memories or impressions just to come to the surface. So as I count back from 3, going back, 2 and 1, be there now. Get a sense you're now at an important day in this life. Get a sense of where you are, what's going on, whether you're inside or outside. So tell me, where are you now? Inside or outside?
Inside, cooking dinner. A very basic open plan home.
Okay, yeah.
In one corner and the bed in the other corner. Just all one room.
And are there others here or on your own?
I'm just on my own.
So who are you cooking dinner for?
The family?
Mm-hmm. And who are the people in your family that you're cooking for today?
Um, it feels like someone's not coming home. So the husband, maybe the children as well, but someone or more of them aren't going to come home. Something bad's happened.
Okay, so you feel like your husband's not coming home?
Yeah.
And get a sense now, as best you can, of why would he not be coming home? What's happened?
Only two children have come in. So a husband and one child have been in an accident.
Right. Husband and one child been in an accident, yeah? So just get a sense now of what type of accident they've been in. Just allow the impressions just to come back to the surface. Let the scenes emerge. Get a sense of what accident your husband and one of your children have been involved in.
It's the older two children that are with me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a horse is involved, a cart, maybe vehicle.
And get a sense of how this has affected their health. Just trust the information.
Feels like there's not really any accessible healthcare.
Hmm. And can you sense whether your husband and child survived the accident?
I don't think they do.
Okay. So you're there with your two older children. And now I want you to go to the next event. What happens after the two older children come home? What's the next thing to emerge in this chain of events?
And they're telling me what happened. They're crying. It sounds like they were throwing sticks in front of the horses.
Oh. And how was that a problem? Throwing sticks.
The horse, I think there was two horses. One reared and the cart tipped.
Right, I see.
They didn't mean to. They thought they were being just thought it was a joke.
Yeah, kids being kids. Okay, all right. And then as you're standing there with your two kids, after hearing this quite upsetting news, get a sense what your name might be in this life. Obviously, your kids call you mum or mother or mama, but get a sense what your name might be in this life, in this country.
I think they call me Benny, but it's short for something.
Penny,
Benny
Benny.
and Benedict, but Benedict.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Benny. So I want you to just let this scene emerge and drift away. Now, in a moment, we're going to go to your last day in this life as Benedict. Going to go to the very last day. In a moment, I'm going to count from 3 to 1. You're going to get a sense this is the last day you spent in this life as Benedict. So 3, as you start to go back in time, 2, allow the impressions to come to the surface, and 1, be there now. Allow the scenes to emerge. Get a sense of where you are, what you're doing, whether you're inside or outside, whether you're alone or whether you're with others. Get a sense of how you're feeling in that body on the last day. So tell me, are you inside or outside?
Outside.
And are you alone or with others?
Alone.
And how are you feeling?
I've got a stick. I'm hunched over, struggling to walk. Breathless.
And how old do you feel like you are, Benedict?
60s, maybe late 60s.
Yeah.
I just take comfort sitting on a rock.
You're taking comfort.
And sitting on a rock is very warm.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
There's some fairly dry bush around me.
Mm-hmm.
See on those mountains. Just a little way up.
And what is it you're doing outside on this day, Benedict?
Just wanted one last view of the scenery.
Yeah.
Some purple flowers in the dry bush. Almost a natural bench from the rock.
Sounds beautiful.
And a little stream flowing by.
So are you aware that you're not feeling well? Are you aware this is your last day? Now, in a moment, we're going to go to your very last breath in this body. And you've done this many times before. So there's nothing to worry about. In a moment, I'm going to count 3, 2, 1. And you're going to move fast forward to the moment when you take the last breath and the soul leaves the body. So get ready now to move forward to the last breath. And 3, 2, 1. As you move forward now to the last breath that you took, as the soul now leaves that body, you get a sense of that happening. As that soul now leaves that body, and once you get a sense that you're out of that body, just nod so I know. Excellent. And how does it feel to be out and free from that body?
Light.
Yeah, light. As you get a sense now that you're, as a soul, looking back on that life from a soul's perspective. And as you look back, you're able to look over that life. As you start to feel your mind expanding now into the highest levels of your being. And in this soul state, you are directly connected to the highest consciousness of your mind, which is like a vast computer holding all that is stored, all knowledge of your existence. And as an eternal, timeless being, you have the ability to look forwards and backwards in physical time and be part of any life you have ever lived. And as you now look over that life from a soul's perspective, I want you to get a sense now that life, as Benedict, What lessons were you able to learn from that life? Get a sense of whatever they were. But tell me, what lessons did you learn as that life, as Benedict?
Teaching the kids to be kind to animals.
Yeah. Be kind to animals. And especially as the way that one of your children passed away.
Forgiveness.
And what could you have done better in that life?
Saying forgiveness.
Just say that again, please.
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness. And who could you have forgiven?
The children.
Hmm. And what brought you the greatest happiness in that life? As you look over that life from a soul's perspective, what made you feel happy? What did you enjoy doing?
The community, being surrounded by the village.
Yeah. And what made you feel sad, or what hurt you the most?
And struggle with forgiving the kids and
Yeah.
wanting to protect them still.
And what was that last bit, please?
Torn between trying to protect them and forgiving them.
Yeah. And now, as you look over that life as Benedict, get a sense of whether there was any contracts or vows that she made to never do something again or always do something, such as I'll never get close to anyone, or I'll never fall in love, or I'll never trust, or I'll never, or I'll never, or I'll always. Get a sense whether there's any contracts, promises, or vows. that have those words always or never in. And sometimes there are, and sometimes there's not.
Never have children.
Yeah.
And find someone who's good to me.
Okay. So that contract, that promise to never have children, is that a contract you want to keep or a contract you want to get rid of or one you want to turn down?
Get rid of.
Okay, excellent. Because sometimes these contracts can flow through from one life into another quite accidentally. So I want you to imagine now that you can see Benedict and she's got a contract in her hand. A contract in her hand like a scroll, and it's to never have children. And she says to you, I agree with you. It's time to get rid of this contract. So you imagine now, as best you can, taking hold of this contract that you can see says never have children. And you take hold of it now and you rip it in half, destroying it. And you tear it into lots of little bits and you chuck it on this little fire just to your right. And it burns away, disintegrates away. And you smile to yourself. And so does Benedict. And now, what can also happen sometimes things of a physical nature can flow from one life into another life. So I want you to get a sense, as best you can, of whether anything from that life as Benedict has flowed through into your current life. Get a sense of any physical pain, any physical discomfort, or any health issues or challenges in this life today. And they can often be related to how she passed away. So just get a sense of whether anything of a physical nature has flowed through from that life as Benedict into your current life. And this can happen quite accidentally. So do you sense of anything physical flowing through?
Just my whole body feels charged, energized.
Mm. Your body feels energized.
Mm-hmm. Always light, unburdened.
So is it anything physical you want to give back? And now get a sense of whether there's anything of an emotional nature anything that might have caused you any kind of tiredness, that might have caused you any kind of lack of energy. It could even be related to the forgiveness. Maybe some of this has possibly flowed through in some kind of way. Just get a sense of anything of a emotional has flowed through. It could be sadness, could be anger, could be the forgiveness.
There's definitely sadness, just the weariness of a not so good life.
Mm. Do you sense some of the sadness from that life has flowed through?
Mm.
What about anything to do with the forgiveness? Do you sense anything there? So what I want you to do now is you're going to walk up to Benedict, and she can see that you're about to give something back to her. And she's saying, that's okay. It doesn't belong with you. It belongs with me here in this life. And you get a sense now of where this sadness is in your body. You get a sense of where the energy of this sadness is. And maybe it's in your stomach or your chest. Could be anywhere in your body. You just get a sense now of where this sadness is, this negative energy that's come from that life, that's accidentally flowed through into this life. And now you get a sense of where it is in your body, the shape of it, the color of it, and just do this as best you can. And now you take a long, deep breath, and 1, 2, 3, you now pull this sadness, this negative energy out of your body now. And you pull it out, I pull it out, and Benedict pulls it out too. And you now feel this release of this negative energy leaving your body now. And as you hand over this negative energy, this heavy energy, Benedict takes that off of you and she says, thank you, because she's the one who needed this lesson and this belongs with her. She needs to keep this here. And she's pleased because this was hers. She needed to learn this lesson. She apologizes for it flowing through. And now you can sense this lightness of your being. Now that this sadness has been removed, you start to notice your own energy able to flow. Now, the universe doesn't like a vacuum. So when we remove something, we have to replace it with something. So I want you to think for a moment, what positive feeling would you like to feel in its place? Instead of that old sadness, which has now been removed, what would you like to feel in its place? Maybe unconditional love, maybe acceptance, maybe happiness, maybe confidence. And then just say out loud what positive emotion you'd like to feel in its place.
Energy, vitality.
Vitality, energy, excellent. So now Benedict is coming up to you with a large balloon, a heart-shaped balloon that's filled with vitality, positive energy. And this large balloon, beautiful balloon in a beautiful color. Benedict now passes you this balloon. And on the count of 3, you're going to breathe this balloon in and you're going to bring this vitality into that place where you just removed the sadness. So take a long, deep breath. And 3, 2, 1. And as you pull this wonderful vitality into your being. And as you pull it into you, you can now feel it go into that place where that negative feeling was. And you notice the vitality is moving in the opposite direction. It's got the opposite spin. And as it starts to spin in your body, it starts to fill you up with this wonderful positive vitality, which flows all the way up to the top of your head, all the way down to the tips of your toes, and then all the way out to the tips of your fingers. And now you go up to Benedict and you give her a big, big hug. One of those hugs where your hearts align. And you can feel the love you have for Benedict, and you can feel the love she has for you. And you thank her for going through that life. And she thanks you for going through your current life. And as you say goodbye to Benedict, saying goodbye to those feelings of sadness too. And in a moment, we're going to go to the next most relevant past life related to why you're here today. In a moment, I'm going to count from 5 to 1. You're going to go back in time as if time didn't exist. To the most relevant time, most relevant place, to another name, another face, where you will travel back to discover, explore, and examine. Another time, another place, going back to another appropriate time and place, where you'll be able to discover talents, gifts, and abilities from that life that you can bring into this life. As you just let go of all expectations about what might be in store for the journey, and you find it easy to release the idea of anything at all needing to be in a certain way. So as you imagine yourself outside in an open landscape, in a space not quite here and not quite there. And as you imagine, if you will, the air, the space just in front of you begins to shimmer and shift and sparkle, and you begin to see something appearing before you, just right there in the air, an opening into another space. And it looks a bit like a tunnel. And you watch and you wonder, and you feel your body begin to smile. And as you watch, you notice at the end of the tunnel, there is a moving, swirling, beautiful light. And in a moment, I'm going to count from 5 to 1. And you're going to travel through the tunnel to another time, another place. Traveling in your healing, protective cocoon of light. Traveling back to another time, another place. So 5, as you drift and float back in time as if time didn't exist. 4, another time, another place. 3, allow the impressions, the memories, the scenes to emerge. 2, going all the way back. And 1, be there now. As you get a sense now, as best you can, you're in another time, another place. Allow the impressions and the memories to come to the surface. Let the scenes emerge. Get a sense of where you are. Start to notice whether you're inside or whether you're outside. Whether you're alone or with others. So tell me, are you inside or outside?
Outside, in a woods.
Alone with others.
With others.
And tell me what's happening here.
Maybe it's nighttime. Maybe we're dressed in black.
And what are you all doing here, dressed in black at night time?
Got lanterns.
You've got what, sorry?
Lanterns.
Items?
Lanterns like fire.
Lanterns, okay, yeah. And get a sense of what it is that you're using these lanterns for.
It feels like some sort of magic ceremony, but not dark.
Okay, yeah. And what's your part in this?
Um, just one of the circle, the party, kind of going along with it, but kind of we all came up with it together. It wasn't a Nigel first.
And tell me more about this magic ceremony. What does it involve? What did you all come up with?
I think we're just trying to get away. There's people who don't like what we do.
Right.
We're quite young and teenagers. 4 girls, 4 of us.
4 girls, yeah. And whereabouts in the world are you?
I think the UK.
And get a sense of what the year might be when you're doing this magic ceremony, dressed in black with the lanterns outside in the woods. Get a sense of what the year, what the number might be.
I keep saying the 50s, but not a recent 50s.
1850s?
Maybe.
And then get a sense of what it is you're wearing, what it is you've got on your feet, the outfit you're wearing. Get a sense of your body, how it feels to be in that body, whether it feels light or heavy. Just notice what you can notice. Trust the information.
No, I feel scared.
You feel scared.
Long, black, raggedy skirt. Like jagged finish. And black top, black shoes.
Mm. And how are you feeling?
Yeah, just trying to get away, trying to hide.
Who are you hiding from?
In villages.
What do the villagers think of you?
They think we're witches into dark magic, but we've been trying to heal and make better.
They think you're witches, but you're healers.
Mm.
I see, you're doing really well. And then does anything else happen next here? Or should we move on to the next scene?
And we managed to hide. And they go by.
Oh, okay. So they're chasing you, yeah?
Mm. And we just managed to crouch down behind a log.
Mm.
And turn the lanterns out. It's quite a full moon, so we can just about see.
Right, turn the lanterns off, yeah. Okay. So just let this scene start to fade. And in a moment, we're going to go to the next important event in this life. To an important event in this life. As a healer in the 1850s, roughly. So as I count from 3 to 1, you're going to go to the next important event. And 3, 2, 1. Get a sense that you're there now at the next important event. And that's it. Let the scenes come to memory. Let the memories come to the surface and the scenes emerge. Get a sense of where you are, inside or outside, alone or with others. Get a sense of what it is you're doing here on this day. So tell me, are you inside or outside?
Outside.
And alone or with others?
Alone.
And what's happening here?
I've built a shack in the woods.
Ah,
And maybe exiled or just decided to stay away.
right. Yeah.
I don't know what happened to our friends.
So you might have been exiled, did you say?
Mm.
And what about your friends?
I think they decided to go back, and I just stayed away.
Oh, okay.
Back.
And what does your shack look like in the woods?
It's just all twigs and branches. And some leaves.
Yeah. And what do you do out here?
Mm. Forage, live off berries, and the
And how are you feeling to be living out in a shack in the woods on your own?
free.
Free?
Mm. I'm quite lonely, but at peace.
Yeah, yeah.
No pressures of others making rules or
Mm.
expecting you to be a certain way.
Okay, so in a moment, we're going to go to the last day in this life. In a moment, I'm going to count from 3 to 1 as you just let this scene just fade and drift. In a moment, I'm going to count from 3 to 1. You're going to go to the last day in this life. As you get a sense now, you're moving to that very last day. And 3, 2, 1. Get a sense you're there now. Let the scenes emerge. Let the memories come to mind. Get a sense of where you are, what you're doing, and who you're with, whether you're inside or outside. So tell me, on this last day in this life, are you inside or outside?
Outside my shack. Not well, sick, poisoned.
And how old would you be, roughly?
Maybe late 20s.
And just get a sense of what your name might be in this life. In the 1850s, living this life as a healer in a shack outside. Get a sense of what name people may have referred to you as in this life.
Gwen, I'm gonna.
Gwen, yeah. So, Gwen, get a sense of how you were poisoned. Trust the information. Was it berries?
Berry, yeah.
And did you eat these accidentally yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how are you feeling right now?
Pleased that I didn't doubt myself.
Hmm.
I was able to break free from others' expectations or ideas.
Okay, so in a moment, you're going to go to the last breath that you took in this life. And you've done this many times before. So there's nothing to worry about. So let's move forward now to that moment when you take the last breath and the soul leaves the body. So move forward now to the last breath and the time when the soul leaves the body, as that happens now. And now, as your soul leaves that body, once you get a sense that you've left that body, just nod so I know. Excellent. And now get a sense of how it feels to be a soul that's left that body. Letting go of that heavy body. And now, from a soul's perspective, with access to all the information that a soul has, you can now look over that life. As you are now directly connected to the highest consciousness of your mind, which is like a vast computer holding all the stored knowledge of your entire existence. And as an internal, timeless being, you have the ability to look over that life and understand the events that shaped your immortal character. So as you look over that life that you lived as Gwen, the healer, what could you have done better in that life, perhaps?
Maybe tried harder to convince the villagers that the talents didn't go to waste.
Tried harder to convince them that you could help, or
Yeah.
yeah. And what brought you the most happiness in that life?
My parents believing in me and
Mm.
getting me free, encouraging me to be free.
Yeah. What brought you the most sadness in that life?
It's the mindset of others.
Yeah. What was wrong with their mindset?
Assuming the worst, assuming the jealousy of these powers and if I'm following the idea that it was dark rather than.
Yeah. And now, as you look over that life that you lived as Gwen, get a sense whether she made any vows, any promises to always do something or never do something. And sometimes there are, and sometimes there's not.
Always be true to yourself.
And is that a promise and a vow you'd like to keep or get rid of?
Keep.
Yeah. So you can see that contract, always to be true to yourself. You can see that scroll. Now you can see a bright light shine upon it, highlighting it, reminding you to always be your true self. And you keep that in a part of your mind to always remind you in the right way at the right time. And now as you walk up to Gwen, she smiles, she says hello. And now I want you to get a sense of whether anything of a physical nature or an emotional nature has flowed through from that life as Gwen into your current life. And this can happen quite accidentally. So just get a sense of whether anything has flowed through from that life as Gwen, any physical pain, any health issues, or any strong emotions that may have flowed through.
And some anger towards others.
Okay, yeah. Like hostility? Or does it feel more like anger?
More like anger.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So do you want to keep that anger?
No.
I didn't think so. So Gwen is now coming up to you. Is there anything else as well as the anger that might have flowed through?
Or maybe disappointment.
Disappointment with,
Again, with others more. Kind of the same emotion. But
yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. So this is all kind of connected, this anger and this disappointment of other people to think the way they do, or so Gwen is now coming up to you with her arms outstretched, and she's saying, I'm sorry about that. That belongs with me. That was my lesson. I need to learn that. And I need to keep that emotion here to help me on my healing path. So you get a sense now of where this anger, this disappointment is in your body. You get a sense of whereabouts it is. It could be in your chest, your stomach, could be in your head, the hips, could be in your hands, could be anywhere in your body. Just get a sense of where it is in your body. Notice there's a color to it, as best you can. There's a shape to it. Now, Gwen wants this back, so we're going to give it back to Gwen. So you take hold of this anger, this disappointment, You notice the shape and the color of it, the texture. And now take a long, deep breath in. And 3, 2, 1. You pull it out, I pull it out, and Gwen pulls it out. And you pull this anger, this disappointment out of your body, and you free yourself from it. And you feel this release. And Gwen takes hold of it and says, thank you. That belongs with me. And then you get a sense of how you want to be feeling instead, because the universe doesn't like a vacuum. So now you get a sense of how you want to be feeling towards other people. What feeling you want there instead, rather than anger and disappointment, a positive feeling. Maybe compassion, maybe understanding, maybe tolerance, maybe love.
Happy and free.
Yeah. So now Gwen is coming up to you with a balloon. Maybe it's yellow, maybe it's pink, maybe it's white, filled with these positive feelings. And as she passes you this balloon filled with these wonderful positive feelings, you take hold of that balloon now in both hands. You take a long, deep breath, and 3, 2, 1. You fill your being, your soul, your mind, your body up with these wonderful positive feelings. And they start to flow and spread around your body. And every breath you take, you add these positive feelings to that feeling of vitality. And you can feel these happy and free feelings mixing in with these wonderful feelings of vitality. And they remind you of those wonderful feelings that you had as an 8-year-old, those feelings of being adventurous and mischievous in all the right ways. And you notice all these positive feelings of vitality, of being happy and free, starting to flow all the way around your body. And you notice a beautiful color too mixing in with it. And this beautiful color now mixes in with this happiness, this freedom, and it flows all the way up to the top of your head, all the way down to the tips of your toes, and all the way out to the tips of your fingers. That's it. And as you give Gwen a big hug, you thank Gwen for going through that life. She thanks you for going through your current life. And she apologizes for letting that negativity, that anger and disappointment flow through. And she's pleased to have that back. And so are you. You're pleased to be free of that. And now, as you get a sense that your soul is now moving up, up, up into the light. And you notice your soul, your spirit, going up, up, up now into the light. And as you look around for a moment, you sense whether there's any guides or angels that can send you their love. Letting you know that they're always there, looking after you, guiding you, nudging you, communicating with you in various different ways. Sometimes through intuition, sometimes in other ways. And you just start to sense from today their guidance, helping you, encouraging you. As you start to feel more of your positive energy from today flowing through you, noticing this vitality flowing through you from today. As you let go of that negative energy, that tiredness, even that backache, and you take with you from this journey today these wonderful feelings of happiness and adventurous. these feelings of vitality, happiness, and freedom flowing through you, knowing you're being guided in subtle ways. And as your unconscious mind just looks over all we've done today, and it takes all the positives from that happy childhood memory, climbing trees, playing with friends, laughing, being adventurous, from that life as Benedict, your unconscious takes those lessons to forgive, realizing that forgiveness is about freeing ourselves. And as your unconscious looks over that life as Gwen, taking all the positives from that, always to be true to yourself. As these feelings of happiness, freedom, vitality, and adventurous flow through your body now. So over the next few moments, the next few hours, the next few days, your unconscious mind will start incorporating these new learnings. And over the next few days, as you sleep and you dream, whether your dreams are mild or wild, memorable or forgettable, let that be a sign that these learnings are occurring. So in a moment, we're going to go back up the steps. You're going to open your eyes and you're going to feel fantastic for the rest of the day. Sensing this new wonderful energy flowing through you. So one, as we start to come back to reality, bringing a new reality. Two, all of my suggestions from me to you to your unconscious are 10 times more powerful than any other voice. Three, from today, your unconscious will find 3 solutions to any problem. 4, 5, you can wiggle your fingers, you can wiggle your toes. 6, 7, 8, you're great. 9, you're divine. And big stretch as you emerge and stretch the mind. That's it. And come back when you feel ready. Hello.
Hello.
Is it
Deepest sleep I've ever had.
I don't know whether to call you Gwen or Benedict or Kim. Okay, well done, Kim. So I'll stop recording.